Tips for negotiating with sellers. First of all, get over fear of rejection. They're not rejecting you personally. They're rejecting what you propose to them, buying their house. So it's not like, don't feel it personal. It's not like you're going to FaceTime them and they're going to see you down the street the next week and they're going to point out and see, hey, she's the one who called me, right? You don't have to worry about that. So get over the fear of rejection. They don't know you. Even if they're rude to you, they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want the situation. They don't want to talk to somebody. So get over the fear of rejection. It's not personal. Always create a win-win situation. This is big. Before you start getting on the phone, before you make those phone calls, there has a lot of mindset work that has to go on first. See yourself as somebody presenting the solution. Think that they need you more than you need them. Okay? You're here because you want to help them. You're here because you want to create a service. You want to create a win-win situation. You're not worried about the sales or getting the deal, right? You're looking at something more than that. So, and that's when I always creating a win-win situation will become natural. Then when you get talking to them, listen more than you speak. A lot of us, when we get nervous or not sure about something, maybe, you don't have enough training yet, you're not sure how to negotiate, you tend to talk more, right? So, but instead, listen more than you speak. Use silence, because then the other party thinks, okay, wonder what she's thinking right now. Wonder if she's going to come in next. Wonder why did she have this reaction of stepping back and not saying anything based on what I said. It's really something that has to do with human nature, some of these reactions. If you think about it, this is kind of, normal for you to do this. There is a book, actually, it's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, that talks about that. It talks about the human behavior of how they do things differently, people do, in response to how other people react. So this is kind of, textbook stuff, okay? Don't take anything personally. The same thing about getting over the fear of rejection. It's nothing against you. They don't know you. Be detached from the outcome and be willing to walk away. Think about this. When you go out there to a dealership and you want to buy a car, right? And you seem like you're going to not get anywhere with the salesperson. You say, okay, well, I'm just going to think about it. And you start walking away. And then I say, well, let me go talk to my sales manager. Let me see what we can do here, right? So you have to be detached from the outcome. You have control of the situation. Feel like that you are actually there to help them. You are there of service to create a win-win situation, not the other way around. You're not that desperate. Never be that desperate, because they smell fear. So be detached from the outcome and be willing to walk away and build rapport. This is the most important one. You want to understand the motivation. We talked about leads earlier. There is a difference between the people that want and need to sell, right? So when you understand the motivation, it's about getting to the point, okay, do they want to sell or do they need to sell? Huge difference, right? Because if you, like me, for example, I don't want to sell my house really, but, if somebody offered me more than the house is worth, yeah, of course, I would sell it. So when somebody throws out there a price that doesn't even make sense for their house, yeah, if you give me 500,000, I'll sell it. The house is worth 200, right? It's because they really don't need to sell. They're trying to fish and see what they can get from the house. You want to get to the people that need to sell, the people that have a situation going on in their life. They lost their job, or they inherited a property that they don't want, or they owe taxes, they're behind on their mortgage. There is something under there. So you want to understand what the motivation, why would they even consider sell the house? Why do they feel they need a house? And that's not just because you want to take advantage of that, because that's not what we're all about here. It's about that you can create a perfect solution for that particular situation.